Hello and thanks for joining us. Today, we take a deeper look at what it means for police departments to build trust.
Every local police department conducts community outreach efforts to help build relationships with the public. In Brooklyn Park, community outreach has really amped up over the last 10 years. The city's police force developed unique programs like the annual Cops and Kids fishing tournament with local youth. But they reach out to adults too, as well as other local departments. Brooklyn Park, as well as other local departments, were recently highlighted on national news for handing out car repair vouchers instead of tickets to drivers who might be missing a taillight. Every local department also conducts large toy and coat drives around the holidays. The line of cars that meet up in Golden Valley preparing to drop off toys always stretches around the block. These efforts have taken on greater significance in the wake of recent officer-involved shootings, both locally and nationally. Those cases resulted in protests and accusations of police brutality. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Alex and Shannon, over the past several weeks, we've spent time with the Brooklyn Center Police Department to get an up-close look at what they do to gain the public's trust. It's the first of a special CCX News two-part series called Building Trust, Cops in the Community.
So this is our National Night Kickoff Party. It's something that we've done for several years.
Monday night at Centennial Park.
There's a lot of people there enjoying themselves, having fun. Big event.
Brooklyn Center Police kicked off their National Night Out celebration a day early.
Just a good chance for our officers and city staff to interact with our residents in a positive manner. And as well as a way for our residents to interact with us.
The event helped Brooklyn Center Police showcase their human side.
So I've been with Brooklyn Center for 13 years. I've always noticed a positive connection between the police and the community. But again, it's something that we're always working on. We're never there, we're never where we want to be. These relationships are ongoing and need to be maintained, and that's something that we've worked on.
The relationships need to be maintained in part because of headline-making officer-involved shootings. In Minneapolis, a roadside memorial still exists for Jamar Clark, a black man who was shot to death in 2015 by Minneapolis police during a confrontation. The incident set off weeks of protests.
It's a tough job. They got to make split-second decisions.
Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman announced several months after the incident that his office wouldn't bring charges against the officers involved. He says he has seen that breakdown in trust between police and the community firsthand.
Minneapolis police need to learn to de-escalate situations instead of escalating them. They can shout and yell and use their guns, but we do a lot better if we say, hold on, calm down, let's talk about this.
Events like this Brooklyn Center kickoff party are designed to establish trust and maintain relationships. But their outreach efforts go well beyond National Night Out.
Gator, you're up.
Every Thursday during Minnesota's warmer months,
I'm gonna ban you from three-pointers here pretty soon.
officers from Brooklyn Center's Street Crimes Unit gather in this gym near the high school to play sports with local youth.
I was like, okay, let's go. If the cops can play, let's go.
Anyone who shows up receives snacks, a bottle of Gatorade, and the chance to see how their athleticism stacks up against Brooklyn Center's finest.
We see the vast majority of these kids out on the street every day when we're out doing our regular patrol activities, so it's nice seeing them here in the gym, get to hang out with them. And then when we see them on the street, we already have that connection that we've built with them. If I miss this, you have to make it again to prove it.
Cody Turner is a 10-year veteran of the department.
No.
He says open gym goes a long way toward establishing relationships with neighborhood kids.
They get to hang out with us, play a little bit of basketball. They go home, they tell their friends about it, they tell their parents about it, and I think that it helps them understand that we're human just like everybody else is.
And it's not just youth that police want to reach out to.
How are we going to communicate better with the community from the police department's perspective?
Brooklyn Center holds neighborhood park meetings several times a year, where the public can interact with police and other city officials.
And it's much a smaller group, and a lot of times the questions that are asked are really relevant to that group in that part of the city. So it really focuses in on that one specific area. So it's been much more successful that way.
911. Successful because the city department heads are going out to to where the people are, rather than having them come to City Hall. It's an interaction that dates back to 2008.
In 2008, it definitely was unique. I think we started a trend. I think we see now more and more cities doing this, and actually bringing city employees to the citizens where they live is the best way to do it. So I think we're getting more and more, but I think we blazed that trail.
Well, this is an exciting opportunity for everybody.
Yet even though the department has a number of outreach programs in place, police admit they can't get complacent. The hope is that if a high-profile incident like the Jamar Clark shooting were to happen in Brooklyn Center, that they've established enough goodwill to maintain the public's trust.
Well, we certainly hope so. We have had some of those incidents in the past, and it didn't get the media attention that you've seen recently. And I'd say a lot of that's attributed to the partnerships and the trust and all the work we've done.
Well, another outreach effort the department wanted to highlight is the Multicultural Advisory Committee. In Brooklyn Center, 1 out of every 4 residents is foreign-born, and in many of those countries, the police aren't credible. The Multicultural Advisory Committee works to minimize those fears and educate people on police initiatives. Tomorrow, we'll have part 2 of our series on building trust. We tag along with Brooklyn Center Police as they patrol the streets to see how they go about interacting with the public.